Welcome to After Rain Hours with your boy JayTI7N, aka Titan Ignition, aka J Baby, aka that one very large dude that used to come to raids, featuring special birthday guest
JackJack1620.
JackJack1620.
Oh my god.
AKA Jack Marius Tack Theratrix.
Indeed.
What's up?
I'm 33 today.
Oh, fuck. Senior citizen over here,
Shut
buddy.
the fuck up.
What else happened 33
not...
years ago? I think the Berlin Wall was still standing.
A lot's happened, apparently.
You know, as it goes.
I don't feel old at all. I don't think anyone should feel old. I think you're as old as you want to be.
True.
That's my thing.
True. When I say I'm a child, 99% of the time, I mean I'm a child.
I always refer to myself as a big kid.
Yeah, I'm definitely a big kid. Well, speaking of big kid shit, we got, there's a lot of Pokemon stuff.
Yes.
It's pretty interesting to see. Oh, wait, what? Yo, Niantic's kind of sus, right?
They super sus.
A little sus?
All the time.
I think I saw them vent. They're right there. They're listening to us right now. Niantic?
Always.
Niantic, I know you're listening to us. Mm-hmm. Please take some of our ideas. I don't even want royalties. I just want these things in the game. Okay?
Well, if you, literally...
Also, fuck your egg system.
When we put in the last podcast, within hours, I feel, everything we talked about came into fruition. Granted, we didn't want eggs.
No.
But that's when they released the 12K eggs, which...
Yeah, fuck that, dude. Right after they took away a reduced egg distance that I got so accustomed to.
No, they kept the reduced egg distance. They quartered it. And then they immediately, today...
But that was an event.
Yeah.
That should have
just been something they kept
They removed our egg distance thing that we had for this whole pandemic situation. Right? COVID compromise. They took our fucking egg distance, which I loved.
I hope
they don't think that
they don't think that the pandemic is over. Pandemic isn't over just because you're over it.
Yeah, exactly. So they took that away, which saddened me. But then I got it felt like a business move to introduce an even further walking egg to be disappointed with. And then
I've never thought I'd be disappointed to see Trubbish or Larvitar.
Oh, but I am, okay?
Dino's cool, I give him that, but I have yet to see a Sandile.
Sandile?
Yeah, I got lots of Bisharp, or the little... That's the Bisharps, right? Little boys?
Bisharp would be the evolution. Is that the It's Poniard.
Poniard. I have him, and I have...
Nice.
Vellubi?
Volby?
Yeah, little vulture babies.
Yeah.
I have those two, but I have yet to see a Sandile.
Yeah. And you need at least 3 of them if you want the family.
Yeah, and I'm just
and you need at least 50 of them if you want to even try to trade for Lucky.
Right. And I'm just not going to. I'm probably going to follow Brian Huber's thing of just use my rare candies on them, because by now, anyone who's a day one homie who's been raiding... Yeah. Probably has enough energies on all their legendaries. Yeah. And if they do enough raids, they're sitting on rare candies.
He said a day one homie.
Yeah.
My man.
So what's the point of powering up legendaries when you probably already have them fully powered by now?
Because I want to power up new legendaries.
Are they that good though? I don't know. They're not. I love the Swords of Justice, especially Virizion or Verizon.
Swords.
For some of those people.
Wait for some Keldeo. Keldeo's cool, man. Come on.
He is. I like Teriyaki Boy.
Teriyaki Boy is dope. Thank you. Shouts to Jay.
Yes.
Shouts to Vilro. We miss you.
We miss you. We love you. We miss the cookies.
Yeah, I do miss the cookies.
It's one of those things where I see Niantic is definitely making moves, and again, as I've mentioned before, they do trials constantly. Moves. And again, I think the big thing of this podcast is we need to just keep putting shit out there. Yeah. For that intern in Niantic to just listen in, benefit from. I don't know. Hopefully he or she is doing well, or they are doing well with all the ideas they keep bringing to the table that they've just listened in on. Because the whole egg thing, we changed that up, and they did. We said it's still trash. It has yet to not be trash. Yeah. Especially now.
Eggs are trash.
They're oh yeah, we're gonna release these. I keep I don't understand why they keep having shitty Pokemon in the eggs. But again, I understand financially it encourages people to spend coin. You don't need to spend coin, but like
I liken it to and this has been a controversial topic in most video games. It's like you've heard the term loot boxes.
Yes.
You remember a few years ago when we bought Jay like loot boxes for Overwatch?
Yes.
And the whole point is you spend a whole bunch of money on a very small percentage chance that you're going to get something you actually want. Right now, the perfect example is, typical gacha games, which I would say Pokemon teeters on kind of a little bit of a gacha game.
It is. But you get major FOMO
if you haven't heard of Genshin Impact, it's kind of the new hotness in phone mobile gacha games.
Okay.
You can play it on your computer or PS4 or your phone.
Nice.
And right now it has that sort of system. So the idea is, and I know this isn't Pokemon related, but it'll come back to it. There's a bunch of characters, some really interesting, strong characters that people really want.
Okay.
But your chances of getting it are like 1 in 5,000. Like a shiny chance or whatever, right? And so you have to use an in-game currency that you get, and they give you a good amount of it to do what you would call rolls.
Okay. For
chances at these characters, and they have like pity systems. So if you have it hit in like 30 rolls, if you haven't gotten a 4 or 5 star, so the stronger characters, your likeliness of getting that goes up exponentially.
So that's like the equivalent of them reducing the number of raid battles or battles you needed to do to get an encounter.
Correct. And that's what I was saying. Eggs are very much like that to me in this game.
Okay.
And shiny chances also like that to me in this game. And again, it just preys on people's FOMO, which is a real problem anything.
Especially now with COVID.
Yeah, well, especially in like collectible things, Pokemon.
Never gonna get it.
Pokemon cards. FOMO was a big thing, and still people buy booster boxes because they especially want that one. Boxes. I'm not outside of that. I'm very much.
You're not above that influence.
yeah. I'm very much into getting things I want.
I think if anything, it's very important to understand as a Pokemon player where your weaknesses are, so Niantic doesn't prey on them. So like FOMO is a big one.
Okay.
Me, I kind of know what I joke, but it's a serious thing. I know what I'm a slut for.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Me
so like
too.
things I'll easily get
breakfast
into.
Food.
Breakfast foods, pizza with pineapples because I'm a heathen.
That's all just food. I'm realizing my list is all food.
Cheesecake. Yeah. But in terms of Pokemon, like I love like cool looking Pokemon. So like Swords of Justice I really liked.
They're cool.
Right now they just released the Spooky or Spooktacular event, which again like they released it just let out. So right now you can find the Sable Eyes in the Litwick costumes, and Gengars will be in raids with costumes, which is awesome. But again, that's another like coin trap is raids, because again, we don't know what the percentage of Gengars will be that are shiny, or how many raids you're going to have to fucking do.
Yeah. And
that could be a serious thing. So, like, Giratina, alternate form, just came out not too long ago. Now it's Darkrai.
Yeah.
But alternate form Giratina, like, I did about, 30 remote raids.
Oh, God.
Because, again, I was impatient. I let FOMO take control. I was like, FOMO, take the wheel. And it's like, got you, fam.
FOMO, take the wheel.
And I did 30 of those, and I finally got one. And I did it Monday, even though the raid day was Wednesday. Okay. And even when I went out for the raid hour, out of 10 raids, I got one. I got one on my account. I got one on Chris's account.
Okay.
Which is nice, because whenever, again, when we become lucky friends, not if, but when, because I'm in it for the long game, I have something to trade with those accounts, which is great. But again, not everyone has the luxury of coins to do that. Not everyone has a luxury of doing the gymming. And I remember we talked a year plus back about don't be a scrub. If you want this, you can either pay the money out or you can go to gyms.
Yeah.
The special exception of this year, as everyone knows, is the pandemic. So
just a little
money,
just a little problem,
just a little bit. Like, money is clearly tight. People are making better. They're required now to make different financial choices than they would have.
Yeah.
because money might be tight for some people. Like, my little brother is impacted by this. He lost his job because of COVID.
Well, I was furloughed for
you were
months,
furloughed forever.
You know,
like it's a real thing impacting people. And I'm not going to get into the politics of if you believe it or not. That's not what this is about. It's a matter of this is something that is changing the routines of people.
Yeah.
And in my eyes, as a person, I'm like, this is great because it's breaking those molds that we fell into as a default.
Okay.
Of this is how it needs to be. I have the privilege of working from home. Things are going well there, and I hope they continue to go well.
So how is your coin income working from home?
Coin income's actually been solid. Like
Pogo.
I literally, and again, for those of you who don't know me, I have an orphanage
of accounts.
It's true. And I don't mind. Like, people like Murphy's Laws, may you come back someday. Like, I have his
Praise
account.
Praise be to Murphy Law.
Murphy Laws. Like, I have his account that I manage, so if you have a lucky trade with him, shoot me a message on Discord, JackJack1620.
Yeah.
And I can potentially try to meet up with you to do a lucky trade with you if we have that on his account, of course.
Yo, that goes out for anything. We still need, sorry to interrupt, we still need some kind of communication with people with lucky trades. And I know part of that's user error, like Herb. If you're listening out there, bro, I apologize. We've been sitting on this lucky trade for like months now.
I miss you.
But the good news is there's great new Pokemon that I would love to lucky trade with you.
Yes.
So, hit me up, baby. But we do miss you guys. I miss everybody.
Yes.
But anyway, so you're talking about your orphanage. Sorry.
No. And so with that in mind, so when I go and take a gym now, I do what I've always said don't do. Yeah. Which is I'll load up a gym. I'll fill it up. But again,
you bastard.
I try to be mindful, always mindful.
Oh, yeah?
That if I knock someone out, that it's someone who's been in there for over their 8 hours, so they get their coin. I won't do it if someone's only been in there 7 minutes. If you do that, you're a monster, and you're one of those people who, if I see you, I will chase you, and I will find you, and I'll destroy you.
Oh, Mega Gengars are in raids.
Yeah. Which is awesome. And again, like,
I just saw it.
I'll definitely want to do more of those boys. And going back to the coin thing, I definitely will make sure to take my time. So now I'm trying to get up earlier to go and take a gym or two. Yeah. Load it up, and then I come home.
Though you live near a good chunk of gyms.
It's
a nice walk. Like I think it's
I get at least enough. If I take the gyms and I go explore the neighborhood, I can get at least 4K, which 4 to 5K. Which now, again, with the egging system... Steps. Okay. Well, I should actually be clear. I get 4 to 5 kilometers of walking. So that's enough to hatch an egg, a typical 5K egg.
Okay. What about your 12Ks? What about your Trubishes? All right. Come on.
Don't get me started.
Come on, bro.
But it's enough to at least hatch those boys so I'm not waiting forever.
Okay.
Now I'm trying to be smarter with the rocket systems because now they took away the frequency of rockets, which I'm like, you should have just kept
counterintuitive because they want us to have these new eggs.
Very counter.
The only way to get, Sandile, Volibee, and Poniard. Poniard.
And so, I understand the ploy because then that makes you need to engage them more, or it encourages you to spend money on the rocket scanner. Which I was a weak bitch.
Trash.
I was weak. I bought the coin and I probably spent it on about 4 of them. So there goes 800 coins.
Okay.
Which was a poor choice in my eyes. Looking back on it, I was like, I should have saved that. For remote raid passes instead.
Okay.
Because that equates to 4. That's what. Let me do math. 16 plus days of continuous gymming. To get that much stuff, I believe, because it's 4 for every 200.
Yeah,
but it's 250, so 5. So actually, that's 20 days. It's 250 coins to get 3 remote raid passes.
Yes.
So 30. That's a month's worth of that I shouldn't have done. Basically.
True.
And that's okay. I understand it now. Now that I have that math knowledge, because I took the time.
Yo, speaking of math and knowledge, I'm going to interrupt you again real quick, Niantic, because I know you're fucking listening. Brenda or whoever's listening, I need you.
I feel they're like a Kenny.
Kenny? Okay, Kenny.
Kenny's
if you're listening,
that sticks in my mind.
I need you to let me hold more than 3, 4, or 5 remote raid passes. Like, I need 100. All right.
I think at
Not
max
100.
they should be able to do 10.
Give me 20.
10 or 15.
Be like my gifts. Give me 20.
That would be fair. Like that can be a fair number. That should also be the same for eggs.
Yeah, you think I have 20 friends to give gifts to?
The other thing.
Then I have 20 remote raid passes.
The other
I can
thing they
play,
should let us do is
with.
drop eggs.
Drop eggs?
I think we should be able to leave an egg at like a stop and let someone else pick it up.
Deleting my eggs would be nice, so I don't have to hatch them.
Or they bring in a daycare.
Omelet.
Or omelets. But there needs to be a better system for these eggs, because it's really unfortunate that I literally have to convince myself not to spin a stop because I don't want to get eggs, just so I could wait to get one of the Rocket Leads to fight so I can get that 12k egg.
Yes,
and then if I spin it just because of like natural reflex, now I have to wait 3 fucking hours until I can get the next one because I don't want to spend.
You know how long it took me to hatch that egg?
3
hours.
And it's frustrating, but at the same time, I have to be very mindful. Not all players are mindful like that, and I don't expect the children that this game is designed for.
But Jack, did you see
what
the Halloween-themed boxes in the shop?
They have Halloween-themed boxes now?
All right, and I'm going to dive into this here in a little bit. But there's a pumpkin pack, 1480.
That looks so cute!
You get 20 super incubators, 4 regular incubators.
That's the same shit that was there.
I know. But my point is like...
fucking emotions.
You want to get rid of eggs? You better spend the fucking money. All right? You better get the incubators.
I'm pulling a Keith and not doing it. I'm following the Keith effect of not spending money when I don't need to.
And I'm with you. I haven't bought incubators in a hot fucking minute, okay?
Yeah.
My problem is the egg economy is trash.
It is.
All right? Not only is the egg economy already obnoxious. Like, I have to get eggs if I spin stops. I get eggs if I open gifts. I get eggs from everything. It's nice to be able to have multiple things to get eggs from.
True.
Could I choose to not maybe receive an egg? That would be nice. Could I choose to toss eggs or send them to Professor Willow so he can fucking hatch them? Great.
I think the energy that they spent on bringing stickers should just be wiped the fuck out. Because it shows that you can have an item that doesn't have a limit. Like, the stickers don't affect your bag space. I still don't understand why you can't have more than just 9 eggs.
That's all I was going to say. I was like, okay, you can only have 9 eggs. Like, give me 12, maybe. This is just my
20,
demands, all right?
20
eggs.
20 eggs.
Well, you have to do it like
20
3,
eggs.
so 21, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's 3.
21, correct.
Yeah. My point is like, these are my demands. I'm going to hold Pokemon Go for ransom.
The October demands.
Let me hold eggs, or it doesn't make any sense to me, but I want it. Mm-hmm. They made it to where stickers don't take up inventory, right? You have your little sticker book or whatever you can throw stickers in. Give me an egg bag, and then I can choose like an unlimited egg bag. It doesn't eat up my Pokemon storage numbers, even though I understand why it does. It doesn't eat up my Pokemon storage numbers, and I could literally just go in there and choose which eggs I actually want to use.
The other thing, and again, I try to be on social media when it comes to that, specifically Facebook, because Twitter, no. I don't want to get involved with that. I feel they can be a black hole. The only other black hole I'm involved in is TikToks, and that's purely for food, for animation, and for art, and for
dance battles.
Shit. The dance battle shit's actually kind of cool. And some of the personal growth shit, because people think TikTok, again, is like this black hole of just stupid dances. And it has that if that's all you care about. If you have other interests, it has that.
Okay.
The algorithm is strong in that one.
The algorithm is definitely strong.
But one of the things I see when I go through social media is the comment of fix Adventure Sync, which is something I agree with.
Okay. What's wrong with your Adventure Sync?
It doesn't always pick up.
Okay.
And it's upsetting. And again, this is something that comes back to the base programming, and I'm sure a lot of other players would agree. Volume is a fucking issue.
Like in the game?
Yeah.
Okay.
I should just be able to mute it, and it's muted forever until I'm ready to reactivate it. Even if I sign out of my account and log into another. Because I forget what volume my phone is on.
And I understand why it's not, but I feel like account settings should just be linked to the actual
phone
account. Well, not just phone. Like,
if I log in, if you set it to whatever, you're good.
So if I log in on my phone with my main account, JayTI7N, that's me.
That's you.
If I log into my phone on that account, music's muted, Adventure Sync's activated. Nice. If I want to log into my iPad or another phone in my possession, because I have multiple.
Yeah.
If I want to do that and I want to log into JayTI7N, that's me. If I want to do that,
I like your directness.
You should be able to log in and not have to worry about unmuting or muting all that shit again. It's obnoxious. The best part's when I'm in the car.
Your team should just carry.
Yeah.
It's frustrating to always have to reset that. And again, with the spooky event, it's what we asked for. They brought ghosts out. They brought darks out, which is what we've wanted.
Costume.
They have costumes. Pokemon. They have sweet costumes. Gengar is going to be beautiful. He can be shiny. He's in raid, so if you want to spend the coin or spend the passes, now is the time if you want to. But again, don't feel the FOMO of it. If you don't care for shinies, this isn't going to affect you. If you care for shinies, my thing is if I'm spending more than 30 in a day, then I should maybe rethink my strategy. Or again, take a break. Like 30 is like the max. That's why I don't mind the raid hour, because then it's like I shot my shot.
I feel like I knock out my month's rating in a raid hour.
Yes. I shot my shot, I'm good to go. And if not, well, damn. Because it's designed, and again, have strategy, have tact, and you go forward. With the darks, again, that's all I wanted. There's a lot of hound hours out.
Yeah.
The last week, which is great. I love those puppers. Now that they brought back Darkrai should be tradable. Again, another push toward the Niantic group to get that shit in the system. There's no need for it not be tradable.
And like, even if it's something as dumb as like you have to wait for a lucky trade to be able to trade.
That's fine.
Mythic. I think you should be able to.
Option.
Because like, I just don't understand why you can't have a lucky mythical.
There's no reason.
Why not? Like, yes, it'd be rare, but that's the point.
I'm trying to fill my lucky decks. This is purely a selfish request, and so I think it'd be great.
No,
people like again.
These are ransom demands. All right,
it is technically. It's like I won't give you monies unless you do this for me.
I won't purchase your dumbass coins.
People with the shitty Mews could trade those shitty Celebies, trade Vitini, all that stuff. That'd be nice to just have a lucky one. And again, if they're worried about the gameplay, they can just say, hey, you can't use these in PvP tournaments, and that'd be okay. They already
just gray them out for
They already do that for the premium whatever cup. So why should that be an issue?
Oh, interesting.
It doesn't make sense why there's certain blocks on this. And again, Niantic has always chosen to forge their own path, so it doesn't make sense that this one thing that's in like the Game Boy games of like, oh, this isn't something you could trade or put up in the like global trading system. It doesn't make sense that you can't do that for this, especially within this game, because they can adjust their own rules as need be. But with the other spooky stuff, so right now we have the Gengar, Mega Gengar is out now, which is great. I like the frequency they're rolling out these megas. They're not letting them linger. Venusaur is about to say bye-bye. Next is probably Blastoise, because it's Blastoise. Charizard will probably stay.
Charizard will stay forever.
He's a crowd favorite. He has 2 forms. It makes sense. It'll probably be Pidgeot next. I'm waiting, and again, I want to see what they do for like Mewtwo and all those boys, but that is down the road. That'll probably be like a summer kickoff to get people back. Hopefully by next summer, 2021, this COVID shit is under control. But again, be mindful. Everyone has to do their part.
Yeah.
I think 2021 will be interesting, but after the shenanigans of 2020, I'm not holding my breath other than like trying to work within a reasonable realm. Okay. So that's been kind of my thing. The other thing that I'm excited about is the Day of the Dead event that they're going to do for Pokemon.
Okay.
Starting November 1st. And we've talked about this fucking months back of how Niantic has slacked on bringing in cultural aspects to the game.
Yeah, imagine having a game that's like culturally relevant worldwide.
And it doesn't have to be, again, of current events like what's happening in America, because I think there's way too many things to even touch on. But culture, things to be celebrated. So Day of the Dead.
Though I'm a little upset.
How so?
Well, because again, it's one of those things, and we see it in Japan a lot, where they have like these culturally relevant events.
Oh, like the Sandshrew one?
Only in that region. So the Dia de los Muertos event is only in the Latin American region.
How come Niantic, just like they did for the small businesses, where you get to promote it, how come they... I don't understand why they haven't had a kind of request of what holidays do you think Pokemon should embrace and why.
Well, I mean, like, maybe a request system, but just like in general, like, just being able to share... And I don't even give a shit about the Pokemon of the event, though the ones they choose make sense for the event itself. Yeah. But, like, I'm more interested in learning about cultures and like, significant things around the world. Like, again, this event is only going to be for the Latin American regions, which makes a lot of sense, but at the same time, like, if you shared that worldwide, someone could be, why am I seeing... What is the significance of this event? And they talk about it a bit, but like...
And those things should be worldwide, because it's not like Latin American people are only in Latin America.
Right.
Like, so the events that are celebrated in Japan, it makes sense that they have a special area where those want to be higher frequency.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make sense, because I'm sure there's Japanese Americans here that would love to celebrate it and just can't travel. And again, thinking about players who are in small towns, and I think back to that event where we had, I think it was like Articuno or Zapdos Raid Day, where players who were hospitalized couldn't play and go out. So like players like Mile High and everything went and like picked up phones to play for players who are hospitalized right now.
Yeah.
I thought that was fucking amazing. And it would be great that wouldn't be necessary, that those events would be something just global. Mm-hmm. We just have a higher frequency. Very similar to like GoFest, where they're like, oh, okay, if you didn't buy a pass, you still have access to like Alolan, Marowak, and things like that. I just think that should be a given. And again, what they did for COVID of the higher frequency of spawns, that should just be a default thing now. Because that was beautiful, and they took all those COVID compromises back, which again... I don't know if the players wanted that.
No, and like on one hand, I understand why. Mm-hmm. They want to, and I hate this term this year, but return to a semblance of normalcy, quote unquote.
Normal wasn't awesome to start with.
Like, bro, like, you have to come to terms with the fact that there is a new normal. Like,
normal's gone.
Yeah, and what's the obsession with getting back to normal? Like, being normal is lame. Was it benefiting you? But regardless of that, like, they want to be, because the way the game works is, again, it's designed to be social, which is hard to do during a pandemic. It's designed for you to go out and go. It's in the name, right? So like, so taking that away, again, makes sense just for the core aspect of the game. But it's one of those things where I got, one, a lot of players were used to it. Some players just started playing Pokemon Go during this time, so, like, imagine, like, you're used to that pace, you're used to the spawns, you're used to how the game is being played, and you got into it because, oh, hey, look, it's a pandemic, all my friends are playing this again because we're stuck inside or we're stuck doing whatever. That's pretty awesome. And then, like, oh, shit, you get all these benefits and everything. Like, I have to tell my friend that's new to the game, don't get too used to it because it's going to go back to being lame. Yeah,
it's going to revert.
So that shit pisses me off. And like I don't understand what's wrong with having things that enhance your game, that made your game better. I don't understand what's wrong with just keeping that shit in the game.
Yeah. Well, as much as I dislike Twitter, I think that would have been something that should have been put up to a vote. Do you guys think this is something that we need to keep in the game or not? And Niantic doesn't give us those options anymore. and I wish they would, of players, what are you thinking of the game so far?
Yeah.
Do you like this feature? Scale of 1 to 5. If anything is above a 4, that should be a feature that they try to keep.
Yeah.
Because you are going to have haters that are like, no, this sucks. I hate the convenience of hatching an egg at a shorter distance. Because there are haters for just unknown reasons.
Well, it's like
the people,
I worked super hard for this back in the day. I don't understand why you get a free pass.
Everyone needs to be able to struggle like I struggled.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, that doesn't necessarily make sense, but there are people like that.
It's a different level of entitlement, but
yeah, there is, and that's why I laugh like all those pure players. And now you can be invited to raid anywhere around the world. So now, how are those players going to be able to distinct between someone who got a Pokemon in Japan and they weren't physically there, and all they have to say is, "Oh, I was there," and you have no way to verify.
Yeah, I mean,
and I'm like,
low-key on that part. Like, Carla always invites me to raids, and I have a lot of fun with it. Like,
it's awesome.
For those that don't know, she lives in Japan. She lives in Sendai.
Jealous.
And she's fucking amazing. All the shit she sends me. But anyway, it's like I'll be just chilling, and it'll be like, PrintKit has invited you to a raid, and I'm like, oh shit! And then I can jump into this random Japanese gym and raid with her. It's a lot of fun. Yeah. But anyway, the fact that you can do that worldwide, a lot of people they started busting out the whole friends lists from different countries again, because they're like, hey, I want to. If you have a raid over there, can you help me? And it'll be really interesting. I don't think they'll ever do it, but imagine if they did that with region-specific Pokemon or region-exclusive Pokemon.
That I put it out there.
I think it should happen. I think one of the biggest things, I think it's more important than ever going into video games in general, especially when we're dealing with shit like a pandemic, is accessibility to games. Accessibility, up and down the street, whether it's accessibility for those that are handy-capable, or anything like that. Again, my mom, being able to play the game with her family was very important to her. So being able, having those types of accessibility, but even just accessibility to certain things. If there's a system in play where I can raid with my friends in Germany and I can raid with my friends in Australia and Japan, and they have access to, Farfetch'd not important, but Farfetch'd, or they have access to Kangaskhan or the region-specific Pokemon and in raids, I think that would be fine. I think that would be awesome. Because right now, I can't fucking travel to those countries, even if I was rich and had the money to. Right. I can't even do that. And even, on the low chance that they pull up all the travel restrictions, I don't have $5,000 to just up and go somewhere to catch a Pokemon. Justifiable. Yeah.
Clearly you're going to do more when you're in that country, but
I think it's just such an old mindset.
It is.
In terms of the business practice of it all.
And especially because they did the whole Gen 1, so all the Kanto regionals. They didn't do that this year.
I really wish they did that with the other gens.
Yeah, they just that was something I was hoping that they'd repeat, because I thought that was a very successful event.
Yeah, I thought it was awesome.
It got people who were like, oh man, I don't have a Kangaskhan, I don't have this. I go into the trade circles a lot.
One of the few egg events I actually kind of liked.
Yes. And I still remember hatching a shiny Mr. Mime at that. I was like, get the fuck out of here.
Mr. Mime.
But it's one of those things where they have good, successful events, and then they forget about them. Uh-huh. And I'm like, Niantic, you have this treasure trove of trials you've experimented on the public with that worked well. The regional egg thing being one of them. Yeah. And then they just oh, never mind, we're not going to do that this year. They tried other things like the autumn event. That wasn't bad. I love Deerling. I think it's awesome. I'm hoping they have the other seasonal forms as we progress.
And Vulpix.
That was awesome. I like the frequency of that. They had Kricketot, which was nice. I think its shiny rate was much higher than any other one I've seen.
Not quite Bronzor level, but
no, that was they were playing with my emotions.
That was the peak,
because that was their best.
Yes,
by far. GoFest was great, again, people had their issues. They gave us the makeup day. That was still pretty decent. Though I don't understand why they didn't give us the... I think it was like the battle one where you hear like the Dragon Boys.
Yeah.
They just left that one out.
Day.
And I was like, why did you do that?
Never mind. I'll come back to that point because I actually had a bit about that. But, well, you know what? I'll get into it just a little bit because this is all kind of tied together.
Yeah.
So
it's our trials.
Part of the reason of like the whole regionals and raids and like I think it'd be cool to add them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel like part of the reason they don't do that so far is because like, you know, they have their events, right? They're the safari zones and things like that. I do think they still need to adapt. I can't go to Copenhagen for a Safari Zone event to catch the cool featured Pokemon there, even if it is a regional Pokemon that's usually not there.
Yeah.
You know, I can't do that. I legitimately can't travel there.
And
so like, you know, outside of like doing the worldwide ticketed events, like I have a Safari Zone wherever you are, a local Safari Zone event, which would be kind of cool. I think they'd make a lot of money off of that. Maybe it's something they should look into. But anyway, like I feel like that might be part of it is like they want to make sure that some of these events still remain quote special unquote. So the only way to get regionals is to go to the Safari Zone or the special autumn event or something like that.
Yeah.
The other point that I was going to get into, which is completely unrelated, but I wish Niantic would kind of lean into these events more. So one of the things, and I know we kind of talked about it a little bit, that I really liked from the Go Fest was just like kind of the presentation of it all, like the raining little symbols for like water and fire and the fighting.
I thought that slowed down the game. That was just my...
That's what I was saying. Like performance wise, I kind of see why they don't do it, right?
Yeah.
It's you know, that's a lot. I feel like there's ways to optimize it, but again, people play on different devices. I'm very fortunate and dumb to be like really up there in terms of like having the best technology I can possibly have at all times. So I don't see the slowdowns as much. I don't struggle with the old devices as much, but I try to keep an open mind about it because a lot of people are still playing on an OG Pixel 1 or an iPhone 6 or 7.
Which I'm like, no!
You know, some people still play that way, and I Mimikyu Pikachu.
Oh, you're playing?
Yeah. And so, like, you know, I see that, and I'm like, okay, I understand. But I do kind of wish that they would lean into the presentation a bit more. Like, give me some, like, spooky UI stuff. Like, give me a border around my UI or something.
Something basic.
Change my Pokemon, like, change it to dark mode, you know what I'm talking about? You imagine dark mode Pokemon Go? That'd be sick.
That'd be beautiful.
You know, shit like that. Like, the fact, like, when I open the shop and you see the spooky-themed boxes, like, yes, it's the same shit that's in every box. But the fact that the boxes are spooky themed, I love that shit. Like, just lean hard into it. And you see that in a lot of other popular games as services or whatever. Call of Duty, Fortnite, you know, all these, you know, it's funny because I'm just naming off a bunch of Battle Royale type games, which Pokemon kind of is, right? But anyway, you know, but they have these events where they just, like, wholeheartedly lean into it. Like, right now in Call of Duty Warzone, which is their Battle Royale feature, they have it's a special mode where the whole map is usually lit up during the day. It's all night, so you're using night vision.
Right.
If you die in that game, you come back as a zombie, and you go and you kill the other players, and you can regain your humanity and all this other stuff. Aww. But what they do is, like, I don't know if you know how Battle Royale games work, but you land, they send out like 100, 150 people out to this war zone. You land on the ground, and you pick up loot. Usually it's in boxes or it's on the ground. You pick up guns, ammo, you know, cash or whatever. Yeah. You pick up loot, and what happens is, like, in this case, what they did is in some cases when you open those boxes, there's a jump scare. Like a ghost is there, and it has like a giant scream, and just like, I don't know how many times I've seen it, but it's hilarious that people just like have
like,
a heart attack.
Shit,
you know, it's just like little tidbits like that. I'm not saying I need jump scares in Pokemon Go,
no,
but I'm saying like,
it would be cute though.
Lean into the thematic, especially when it's like this big event. Like the spooky event starts today, October 23rd,
my birthday,
and lasts until what, November 4th or whatever.
Yeah.
Or something like that. It lasts a little bit into November. That's a week and a half, 2 weeks. That's a good chunk. Like, yes, I know it's a lot of work to do UI updates, but at the same time, like, just people go in on it.
It just makes me think of, like, at my office, one of the big things I would always do is decorate.
Yeah.
And it's a small gesture, but it gets people in the spirit. in the theme of the holiday. And it's not that hard to do. Like right now we see it with Longchamp. I still don't understand. I don't understand like the premise of it. It's just like buddies of Niantic are like, oh yeah, we're gonna support your business and put stuff out here. Right now we have the release of the Thunder, like the Tundra expansion.
Crown Tundra for Sword and Shield, yeah, which is why we saw Galarian Farfetch'd and Galarian Ponyta in the game.
And I like those things, and I do enjoy how brief the Galarian release was.
Yeah.
Because I don't want that everywhere, because Sword and Shield, which is which gen?
8th gen.
That's
the 8th gen.
I don't want them to release all these tidbits of the gens that soon.
Right.
I think they did a great job of just like that subtle release of like, here's a bunch of like Farfetch, you can get Surfetch, good luck, boys.
Yeah.
And that they didn't make the mission too hard to get him.
Yeah.
It's still one of those things where I want. They have a lot more material still to release for our current gen.
For Gen 5, yeah.
What we still haven't seen Cacleon. There's still some other boys that are still as question marks in our Pokédex.
Yeah.
So like that's why it's nice that like Poniard and like Volibee and like other boys are now out, and that we got Deerwing and things, but there's still more boys to be released.
Yeah, there's still. I mean, there's
because
a ton of Pokemon.
This is the time. Typically, October was a time that the next gen shit would be released.
Yeah, or at least the first kind of snippets of it, right?
And we haven't seen that yet, so they have altered their trajectory. We've seen it with community days. They fell back on this voting system stuff, and we just had Charmander, which was, in my opinion, not really important. We got a Charizard with Dragon Breath, which is like, cool, yay. It might be nice if
he's a real dragon.
No, he's not. But it might be cool if you enjoy the Mega versions, because technically that Charizard, I forgot which version is Dragon.
I will say real quick on that. Thank you, Niantic, for extending the time on my Megas.
Yes, that was the other thing, is that that was something we griped about.
Yeah,
was just like, why is it now? The only other thing they need to adjust is how many candies.
Was it
like they extended how many candies we can hold. They went from like 999 to I think like 2,000.
2,000. Yeah, that's actually hilarious because we talked about that once.
Yes. And so I'm just like, just come on, guys. Like, you guys are listening. That's cool. We appreciate it. We love the support. But there's other things that could be done in that realm to make it better.
Yeah,
and all I see from people that comment on social media is their gripes.
Yeah.
About it, of what, why is this so hard, or why did they come out with another costume Pokemon when there's all these other issues? And the ultimate reason for that is those are income providers and generators, is why those come out. That should just be a known thing. Halloween, I'm expecting themed Pokemon. They did some justice to Gengar. He looks amazing.
Yeah.
We have Mega Gengar out, and if you don't know, like, the shiny version of that should be white.
Which looks
his shiny version should have been like a true ghost.
Yeah.
So go for that. And anyone who did like the Gengar raids like way back in the day, if you have a shiny boy, like treat that boy right.
Yeah. The costume The costume Gengar can be shiny, by the way. By the by.
And so that's something, again, if you want to spend the raid passes, feel free, but don't feel pressure to. You shouldn't feel pressure for any part of this game, because it is a game. If you have financial obligations, take care of those. Take care of yourself. If this year's shown us anything, you got to be able to take care of your things that you need to take care of.
Did you see that? I don't know how. I don't think it'll make a difference, but that the costume Gengar can Mega Evolve.
Can he?
I don't know if it keeps the costume. I don't think it does.
That would be amazing.
But I'm just saying, like, it's pretty interesting that the button's even there. But yeah, dude, like, I don't know, like,
they have many options,
of course,
and I hope. And again, they did listen to have spookies, have ghosts, have darks, have rockets. They did all those things right after we posted our podcast last time.
So you guys are listening.
So I want to make sure that they know, for going into like Day of the Dead. I'm glad they're doing like Alolan Marowak, because he's like the perfect sponsor of that, like the perfect face.
Yeah.
For Pokemon.
Well,
And my
it's just
hope
like-
is that they have like Cubones, they have more ghosts, they have fires.
So they
Pokemon
have
out, like
Cubone, Sunflora, Roselia, because
Mhm.
flowers. Cacnea, Duskull, Litwick will be increased spawns.
this would have been the perfect time for Maractus.
And they'll have other, yes, true. Increased incense appearances for Ghastly, Mischievous, Absol, Shuppet, Duskull, Drifloon, and Litwick.
Those will be in the wilds.
Those are on incense. And then complete exclusive field research tasks to encounter regular Marowak, Alolan Marowak, Murkrow, and Duskull.
Nice.
The other big thing, and I'll just read this out real quick. The Day of the Dead is a holiday observed in Mexico and other parts of the Americas that celebrates the lives and the memory of family and friends who are no longer with us.
Yeah.
In Mexican tradition, it's said that the spirits of the deceased return to the world of the living during this special time to share a joyful celebration with their loved one, surrounded by candles, flowers, fruit, bread, sugar skulls, incense, and other traditional food and decorations. So the other thing, like on their little teaser ad, they had poffins for the bread.
Oh.
But anyway, again, I'm a little bit upset because the very beginning of this announcement is the spirits return in the Latin American region with an exclusive Halloween event that celebrates the Day of the Dead in Pokemon Go. So from Sunday, November 1st at 10 a.m. to Monday, November 2nd at 11:59 p.m. local time, players in Latin America will have a chance to catch Pokemon that represent different elements of the Day of the Dead. So it very specifically says Latin America. I think it should be
Are
a
they going to
worldwide
consider
event,
North
but,
America part of Latin America since it was originally in Mexico?
I mean, I would hope so. But they usually... It's weird. They usually like discount the U.S. and Canada from the rest of North America in that regard.
No.
Maybe if you're in Texas, right?
See, that's
Go
where,
visit all
again,
my
I
exes
wish
in
you could
Texas.
say, like...
Hell yeah.
That's great. No, that's one of those things I wish they would allow people to participate. Because, again, it
Well, just
encourages
imagine
that cultural
$2
exposure.
a $2 Dia de los Muertos ticket.
I'd buy that.
$1.99 for a ticket
I
to
think
have
they just
access
need
to that
They
event.
just need to do away with these community day dollar boxes because I think they're useless, and just give us access to other
If my starter box is $2.99, like you can make. I would probably
I'm gonna nickname them Culture Crave events.
culture crave.
Like, let us get these events.
How
to
fun
just-
would that be?
Well, and they could have more of them. Again, if they open it up to players to be like, what holiday is important in your area, and give like a synopsis, just like the request for like Go Fest stuff or like hosting an event in your area where you had to do research and all that.
Yeah.
If they let you just be like, hey, give us a 2-paragraph reason with some pictures of like the holiday and how it's played or how it's supported in your area, we can do it. Just like we were talking about over sushi today. How funny would it be if you had a cardboard box event and you had like boxy Pokemon like Porygon and fighting Pokemon out as a supporting Pokemon for that event? Or like Running of the Bulls, you had Tauros and they bring in the Buffalo one.
Yeah.
As your main
Buffalo.
Pokemon, and that's a
Wait,
shiny.
that's in the game.
He's out,
right?
yeah.
What
But
is he,
having like a
exclusive
shiny
to-
variant.
What is Buffalo exclusive to?
I think he's like more
It's like
North America.
New York?
Yeah, he's up there.
Well, I
Like
only say that
Canada.
because I think of Buffalo, like the Buffalo Bills, like Buffalo, New York.
That makes sense.
But sorry.
But
Anyway,
no, that I think it would be sweet for things like that, to where you can maybe even request like, this is a Pokemon I think would go cool for this event, and then that gives Niantic the material. That's more jobs for them. They can find more jobs for the interns there.
Yeah.
And we always just say interns lightly, like we know interns do shit.
well, I'm technically an intern, so it is.
I'm
what
an
it
intern
is.
too. Like, there's so much material to go off of, and culture is one of those things that they're barely chipping the surface of.
Yeah, and they have so many resources
And it
to
would
be able
it would
to dive
save them
into
from being forced to have to keep releasing
it.
new things in terms of the gens. They technically, I don't like that they're releasing Galarian stuff right now, when there's so much that still needs to be done.
True. I think next Halloween's gonna be fire because I imagine it's gonna be all Mimikyu.
That's all
Based-
I want. Bring the boy.
But
Bring him, the chosen
But
one.
in that case, then they do Gen 6 Ghosts dirty because where's the Gen 6? Maybe they'll wait another year because they keep dangling Mimikyu in our face, but not actually giving us Mimikyu.
And there's so much that they dangle that they said they're going to release something about Gen 6 at GoFest, and it was silent. And
Megas, it's still, all right. Come on,
we got them, cool, all right. And there's so many of them. That's why I'm not worried about it. They have so much material, and they're playing the long game.
Well, and again, the Galarian things like. It kind of makes sense because it usually has been with Galarian with the Sword and Shield release stuff.
Yes.
So the first expansion, is that when we got Galarian Wheezing?
I believe so.
And then this new one, the Crown Tundra, that just came out yesterday and today. That's why you saw the Galarian Farfetch and Surfetch. Now you can finally evolve it to Surfetched. Good luck on those excellent throws.
And it don't have to be in a row. It's just
10 cumulative excellent throws. Can you imagine if it was in a row?
Oh no, I was kind of getting some anxiety about that.
That's what makes people cheat. Okay, yes, I just want you to know. It really does. That's dumb.
In that spirit, when it comes to the Galarian again. I have a phone, so if I'm playing consistently, turn off your game and restart it, because sometimes it just needs to reload. Oh, because it didn't show that ability to even evolve until I turn it off and back on.
Oh, wow.
So if you're constantly on your phone and it's not showing that for you, that's a quick tip of just on, off.
I feel like I'm constantly rebooting my Pokemon Go. Not because it's crashing or whatever, but just because it's just like... out of habit, to make sure it's fresh,
Yeah, like when I see Brian and others, oh my god, this new thing came out. I'm looking at my phone. I'm like, I don't see it. Then I immediately restart it. But it's again having that network of people who are playing or who are on social media. It helps. Yeah. So there are some benefits of social media. Not I don't think as much as everyone thinks there is, but there are some perks. They let you know some things. So
did you
wait?
Did you see the other thing that they're doing? The AR mapping tasks. Did you read up?
I don't know how to feel about that. I think it's another ploy to I feel it's almost like a slap to spoofers. Because they're like, you got to be there and you got to circle around it and do a little dance. Yeah. And then it'll give you a Pokemon.
That's the first thing I thought of too. I was like, oh, so you're trying to make sure I'm not physically there or something? Come on, bro.
And see, in my neck of the woods, the stop is right behind a fucking elementary school.
So you don't want to be seen scanning something at an elementary school with your phone?
No,
that's you're trying, senior citizen.
You're trying to trap me. Get out of here. No, the last thing I want to be is near a school.
Yeah, my stops near my house are at a park where kids are always playing. So you imagine my big weird looking ass out there I'm just scanning this area because it says it takes 20 to 30 seconds to scan.
It sounds good in theory, and I don't think they realize
yo, I'm a big fan because community I want more AR stuff, and that's the whole point. Yes, is they're trying to.
I thought the idea was great in theory.
Okay,
but the application or the execution of that idea, I don't think is going to pan out.
My favorite part is Niantic kids accounts aren't going to be able to do it until later, but that's not. The worry is kind of like we were just saying is these are adults playing the game in areas where kids are.
Yes.
That's creepy. I don't. Yo, the fuck out of here.
They should just have them based on, again.
Like you said, in theory, I like it in theory because I want to see more AR use. They've been hiring acquiring a ton of AR labs and stuff, so I want to see it used, but I want to see it used well and maybe think things out before you.
Yeah,
this is one of those
of what stops you use for this.
One of those trials where I'm like,
Yeah, and I've noticed in other areas, a lot of them have the sponsored stuff.
Yeah,
and right now they're doing. I saw the Grubhub. They're doing
Grubhub and Verizon. And so
areas, if you see the Grubhub box, it can give you a rare candy.
Yeah,
which is pretty sweet if you don't do enough raids. That's a good way to get some. But again, you have to be in those sponsored areas. Get some.
Hell yeah.
You have to be in those areas, which isn't always horrible. I still put out there, if you have the ability to request stops, if you're a level 40 player, please continue to do so. Make your areas lit with stops. That's, I think, very important.
Get lit!
Going back to the spookies, we're going to have the Day of the Dead. That's going to be for a short duration. And I like, again, the fact that these events aren't lingering. But I'm hoping Niantic is taking notes of the perks that people are really utilizing the most. The reduced egg distance, beautiful.
Yeah, bring it back.
That should have been
just make it permanent.
Maintained.
You know what? Fuck your 12Ks. Make 12Ks 6Ks.
I feel like they reduced the number of gifts you can open.
Yeah.
Which sucks because I like being able to open up all my gifts, and still, it's not Niantic's problem. It's players. You all aren't opening your gifts. Open your fucking gifts.
Fuck your gifts.
Please.
I don't want to open your gifts.
No, I want it, like, I do it just because it helps me.
But I don't want the fucking
back.
eggs, alright?
That makes perfect sense. I feel that, and I feel you should have the option to choose if you want to.
You know what? You're gonna get a Starbucks gift. Here you go.
I don't drink Starbucks. Stop it.
Don't. I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna balance it out.
Don't do
with
it.
The greatest addition they've ever added to this game: stickers. All right, bro. Stickers, I'm gonna give you some pretty sick stickers.
What a waste of Niantic resources.
Is it?
We can have.
I love my stickers.
We can have better battling. Shop. We can have better things in the Pokemon raids. Nope. I like the fact that they're rotating raids. That was something we had mentioned before.
Yes.
They're doing a great job of that.
Yes.
Some of the Pokemon I don't always agree with, but like they have to have some shitty Pokemon. There's not always going to be top tier Pokemon in every raid. I understand.
Well, joke's on you. I hate all Pokemon, so...
Still issues? Trade costs. Reduce it. There's no reason to have it that
I don't understand trade costs.
Trade costs are just an abomination.
Especially because, like, look, pick one, Niantic. You want me to spend all my fucking dust to trade, or do you want me to be able to trade across the world? Like, pick one. Like if I can...
If I could battle a person across the world in an in-depth
trade
match.
Yo. So, again... Carla, I love playing the game with her. I can raid with her.
Yeah.
Awesome. I can battle her. Awesome. We're lucky friends. I'll never be able to fucking trade her until I get to Japan. Or she comes here.
Made zero sense.
Like, bro.
I think Lucky Trade should unlock that.
Just like dangling it in my
best friend
fucking face.
Should unlock
where you can
that
trade.
ability.
That's a good point. Best friend definitely, but even like, especially Lucky Trade. Like, it's hard, quote unquote. Hard enough to get a lucky trade. But, like, have it unlock shit. Make it more than just, okay, you get a better Pokemon or a lucky Pokemon. Oh. That is cool. In and of itself, yes. But imagine, you get a lucky trade. It unlocks the fact that, I don't know where this person is anymore. I haven't talked to this person in 9 months, but I have a lucky trade with them, okay? I don't know how to reach them. They left Discord. They're not on Facebook, or I don't have them on Facebook. I don't even remember the trainer's name because I was dumb enough not to add their nickname to their friend profile, whatever. Anyway, so they can get a notification anywhere that they're playing the game to be like, JayTi7N, that's me, JayTi7N, wants to trade with you, you know? Lucky trade. Hello. That would be sick. Even if it, anywhere you're at, you get a notification.
Clearly Niantic could do something, and I feel just like how they have their news. So I have it naively to where it sends me emails.
You're
so
dumb.
They're like, yeah, I don't know why I signed up for that. And it lets me know, oh my gosh, the spooky event's coming. Prepare yourself. How awesome would it be that you as a player can send a message and maybe once a day, again, it's your player preference if you want it to email you, hey, this person wants to trade you, or your lucky friend is trying to trade you. Beyond the game, so because I normally don't have notifications show up, it asks, I'm like, fuck you, no, I only want texts and calls. Oh, shit. If it could send me an email of that to say, hey, are you gonna sneeze? No, don't do it. I'm good. Coax you out of it.
I'm good.
That you're able to just pick of like, I don't want to get, or I do want to get messages from lucky friends.
I don't
want to trade.
I don't mind the like. Because, like, the rating, whenever... I don't know when Carla's inviting me to raids. It's just a notification appears on my phone. This trainer has invited you to a raid. Awesome. Granted, I think they need to work that system out still because it gives me big anxiety that I join a raid and there's, like, 13 seconds left. And that's not even a fault on... I didn't join it late or anything. That's just how long it took the system to process, hey, he's joining this raid.
And for older phones, it can crap you out.
Yeah,
so
just kick you out.
I was being invited from an account that was in New York for a Ponyta, and I just got a little raid pass. I was like, okay, I can join it.
Yeah.
I hop in, the battle starts, and it kicks me out. Or the game shuts down. My Pokemon was there, so battle was started. So I was like, okay, I should just be able to hop back in. I try it. It's not like the clock for Ponyta had ran out.
Right.
Hop back in. It's like, oh, you need another raid pass. Even though I had a raid pass going into it, it counted it as
but it started the raid with your pass, but then it kicked you out, so it took your pass.
It did. And I was like, what kind of bullshit? And I didn't want to spend money on it because, again, I'm trying to be better about that.
Yeah.
And November is kind of like no cash November. Like, you're not getting shit from me.
November.
I was, like, I want to be better about that. Like, this birthday even was kind of the last hurrah of me going out socially to go eat.
Yeah.
For, like, the next month or so. Just so I can, like, really buckle down on other things and get some other stuff in order. Yeah. Trying to be mindful of, like, future moves of, like, I want to have money for Japan, but I also want to make sure I'm not financially strapped.
Right. I
have a bad habit, I don't know if any other players have it, where I like to splurge on food.
Oh, yeah.
And especially right now, I know people with DoorDash or Grubhub are just like...
Bro, that shit...
Make it rain.
Even if you're like a Dash Pass member or whatever, that shit is expensive.
Yes.
Especially, doubly so, if you only order for yourself.
Oh, yeah, because they have a minimum, like, you have to order $20 or $10, $15 worth of food.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like... Because, like, for instance, my brother has a Dash Pass. Mm-hmm. Most of the time, when he's ordering food, he orders for me and him, so we share it. Right. So, like... Altogether, our meal's pretty pricey because it's two people, but like it equates each other out, like to the delivery and the tip and all that other stuff is like you split it between two people, it feels a little better. Mm-hmm. Versus if he's just doing it for himself, like a meal that should cost maybe $12 is $20, and you're just like, bro, like is that worth the convenience or whatever?
And that's what it comes down to for Pokemon.
Yeah,
are some things worth the convenience? And right now, a lot of my spending is no, it's not. I'll try to do the gymming thing.
That's what I'm saying. Like
passively, I don't want to spend hours doing it, so I take what I can get. And I'm not throwing a fit about it. Is basically like the mantra.
Like, and don't get me wrong. Like, I'll do the eggs to get you know the Pokemon I want, but I'm not gonna go out there and spend. Like, I'm not letting FOMO get me.
Yes.
On this case. And I'm not spending money on incubators. So, it's going to take me a long time, but I'm going to use my one free incubator to hatch all the eggs I get. Yeah. And, it's going to take me a while, but until you fix the egg system, I don't think it's a worthwhile investment for me because, lo and behold, I put a 10K into a super incubator. Sweet. I spent money on that. It's going to hatch quicker, whatever.
And you're going to get a
Phoebus. I put the 12K into a super incubator. It takes 8K now. Okay, sure. I spent a little money. It's going to save me a little bit of time. I'm walking around Trubbish. Like, bro, like, I love Trubbish. Unironically, I do love Trubbish. But this is fucking trash, all right? Literally. I just, like, it's insane. I want the Sandile. I want the Bishop, the Poniard.
But they're out now.
Yeah, are they out in the wild?
No, but that's the thing is that there will be a time they will be. Exactly. And I thought about that for Ponyta, like Galarian Ponyta. Like I was like, oh my god, I need to do raid battles, and I was like, Jack, no. And I had to like kind of like Shinx, like calm touch my leg of like, don't do it. Like they will be out,
or there will be an event raids. For it. Yeah,
there will eventually they'll just be out. They might still be in raids.
Yeah.
But at least it's not me rushing about. I don't want to feel rushed anymore.
Yeah.
They will be out at some point in maybe raids again. Because like you said, it might be like Shinx.
No.
Which, again, even Shinx, I didn't go out of my way to do every single... But if I came across it and I had a free pass, why not?
One thing I have been enjoying in general is like the Pokemon are usually in raids or whatever. Like Shinx, they did that month where it was a special research.
Yes.
That was pretty nice. So Galarian Ponyta could follow that same track,
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see, but ultimately, there are things that need to be changed, but things that are working pretty well. And so how do you feel about the spooky event so far?
I like it. I haven't done the Mega Gengar yet. I'll probably try to do some. But again, I just want to get enough to get at least 2 evolutions worth, and then that's where I stop myself.
Are you going to try to Mega Evolve a Shiny Gengar?
Yeah, but I'm only going to Mega Evolve if a research task requires it.
Okay.
I don't need to do it for my decks.
Right.
I'd much rather double dip.
Okay. That makes sense.
And the reason, so like right now, I think I only have 2 evolutions, which is like Pidgeot and Venusaur, because I had 2 missions where it was like, do this, and so I was like, Mega Evolve done.
Yeah, so I have the candy, and I'm the same way. I've been sitting on a lot of Mega Candies, but I don't need to Mega Evolve.
Yeah.
I mean, they're fun to have as your buddy.
And now that they last 8 hours, that's great, but I'm not proactively needing that Pokemon.
Yeah, whenever I see it out there, I'm like, okay, weird flex, but thanks, bud.
Like, I think it's cool. Houndoom looks beautiful. Like, I saw someone with the shiny Houndoom, I was like, what a beast. Then again, it's not necessary right now.
Okay.
And so I'll get enough to get at least 2 evolutions, because I want to, again, thinking of the decks, I'll evolve one that's shiny.
Okay.
And then I might do the one who I want to use battles with that's normal.
Okay.
Just so I can fill that little dex entry with the male and female, and then I call it a day. But I'm not going out of my way. It's not something that's egging me on of like, Jack, please do this now. No. I'm not rushed like that anymore. Was I that way a year and a half ago? Yeah. I would have been spending all my time out at rate. I'm not going to. Now, how players like Banani, who doesn't need my help, and I got to make sure I comment on that because she can definitely handle her own. But when she invites me out, I'll definitely hop on to just have the opportunity.
Yeah.
And there's lots of other players who I don't see send out invites. They might have it on lock, but then I still see some complaints of like, man, I can't just take that. And I'm like, well, you got to make friends with people who might be playing more frequently so you can invite them. Nothing's wrong with that. But no, I think the event's been good so far. Again, it just started today, and it'll go on till, you said what, November 3rd or 4th?
Something like that, yeah.
So it'll go for a little while, at least a week, which is great. And I'm eager to see the Day of the Dead event, and then I'm curious. I have zero clue what they're going to do for November. We haven't... Usually by now we would get some sort of hint as to the next community day. There's been nothing. So that kind of has me in wait of what they might pick. Because there's been no vote. I feel with all the voting, and people are being bombarded by voting now. If you're eligible, please do go vote. I don't know what they're going to do in November. That's kind of where my mind's at now. I'm eager for Halloween. I love the holiday.
Yeah.
I just don't know where they're going to go Pokemon-wise, because November's kind of an odd one. It's the middle boy in the Holy Trinity of, it's about food and everything. And maybe they might... A hope would be Shiny Snorlax. Fuck it, why not?
I would love Shiny
He's a big
Snorlax.
boy, he eats, or we have a Munchlax community day. That'd be hilarious. I don't know what legendary they're going to bring. I saw that they might... I think they're going to try to bring back the legendary... the Swords of Justice.
Okay.
That they're coming back to raids. Which is cool. Like, they can rotate in and you have more opportunities. That's fine.
I wonder how long until they do the Galarian legendary birds. Do you think they'll wait until Gen 8? Or do you think
they'll wait... That's like a summer kickoff kind of deal.
Because they're fucking cool.
They're gorgeous.
I love
if you haven't
Zapdos.
If you haven't seen the Galarian legendary birds, Google it, look it up on whatever you have. Ecosha, if you're trying to save trees, use that search engine. Like, there's a lot of cool things that Sword and Shield have. Yeah. That if you're not a Sword and Shield person, Sword and Shield is the newest version of Pokemon that's on the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, it's a fun game if you just want something to kind of stay in the same Pokemon realm. That's a great pick.
I think they're pretty great.
There's other things like you had mentioned. Pokemon Switch is something that might come. There's the whole Pokemon Go, Pokemon Home crossover that we're still waiting for information on.
Towards they said by the end of the year.
Yeah. So there's things like that are going to be super sweet going forward. And maybe November might be the month they kind of drop more hints of what that is.
Yeah.
So what about you? What do you think of the Spookies?
I think they're pretty cool. Like I said, I wish they would lean into these events, right? So I'm saying I want more flair and presentation.
Right,
like,
we do have Spiritomb that's going to be shiny.
I saw on Cerebi, or someone had posted up their shiny Spiritomb. It's like pretty awesome looking.
Yeah.
I think that's in research tasks or whatever. I haven't finished. Obviously, the event just launched, so I haven't finished any of the special research or anything. But yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. The spooky event, like I said, it's just like they listened to us. They did what we wanted. I would love to see better use again of shadow Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Now that we have 12k eggs coming from rocket battles. But I have to find rocket battles, and they're harder to find. Is kind of obnoxious.
Hard.
And then that's less shadow Pokemon for me to utilize or whatever.
I did get a shiny shadow Growlithe.
I know. I see. It's your buddy. That shiny Shadow Arcanine is sick, dude.
I was so happy. All those weeks of hunting them.
But yeah. So I don't know. Like, it's kind of where I wanted it to be. I do wish we saw. So they're doing Yamask.
Yes.
And then they're bringing in Galarian Yamask.
Yes.
And we might get into that in a bit, but that's a Gen 5 Ghost. The other Gen 5 Ghost that they've already released at the beginning of Gen 5 was the Litwick. That's kind of the more prominent one. So Litwick all the way up to Chandelure, some of the Gen 5 favorites. And so like I like it. I think the costumes look pretty cool. I think they're a little bit thought out. Like,
they upgraded.
I didn't mind. I thought that the starter costumes were cute last year.
They do have those. I think those are in raids.
Yeah.
Only.
But I'm saying, like, in terms of like the costumes choices, I think they're pretty interesting. And overall, I like the event. And obviously I'll have more thoughts on it as I play it over the next 10 days or something like that. But I think it's probably going to be successful. I want to get the Mega Gengar. I want to see if the costume Gengar, if it Mega Evolves, if that changes or it just turns into normal-ass Mega Gengar. Because I forgot, does Blastoise Mega keep its sunglasses? Do you know?
I don't know. I haven't spent the candy.
Right, exactly. So
I'm too nervous.
I can't remember if I saw it around, but it's pretty cool. But outside of that, yeah, I think that's cool. I want Niantic. You guys are listening. I swear to God. So let's do event tickets. Just ticket all your events. That we
don't be crazy expensive with it, of course.
Though we normally wouldn't have access to. $3, $4, $5 would be sick to do a Dia de los Muertos event.
Yes,
right?
That'd be awesome. Have maybe some, again, you can do basic merch, make it worth our while. Maybe get a Day of the Dead mask that you can give your Pokemon. Yeah. Or you could use a substitute item doll and it could be themed like that, so you have like a little plush of it.
Yeah.
There's so much you guys can do as a cash grab if that's how people want to look at it. Make it worth its while.
Yeah, and I'm not saying like paywall it. Don't make it to where you can't access it unless you spend money. Like, keep the event going on in Latin America for free or whatever. But for the rest of us that would like to take part in it that can't maybe access it, have a reasonably priced option.
Yeah.
The ticketed event for GoFest worked pretty well. The other ticketed events like the Regigigas and the Genesect events worked. Now, albeit it was kind of lame, like some of the shit they had in it. Like, that's something you can work on, but the event itself worked.
Yes.
So like I think doing that is a decent option. I think it'd be something I'd be comfortable with, maybe spending a little bit of money on.
Yeah.
Just because, like, again, it's an opportunity for me to really learn. And I think what you can add to that is like just snippets about the culture.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be like full-ass paragraphs. It might be something Willow says to you. So if you want to take the time, you just learn about it. Uh-huh. To me, it's like throw some Pokemon in it. So if you're going to have it, you can have Yanmask in there and give it some lore. You have all those Pokedex entries that you could use in the story.
And I know I've harped on it a bunch, but I'll do it one more time. Lean into your events. Like this Halloween event, how sick would it have been if you saw Spark, Blanche, and Candela in costumes, like the Gengar onesie.
That would have been awesome.
Spark in like a Zapdos onesie or something.
It would have been cute.
Something like that. Willow in a costume, and you see like just kind of like quote spooky designs, kind of all the way around.
Yeah.
And again, I know it'll slow down the game if you have like things trickling on screen. Make that an option to turn off in the settings.
Boom.
So you don't have to worry about it.
Yes.
That would have similar to AR on and off.
I think because recently, I'm sure everyone now, because of COVID, is on the Among Us wave. Even that of just like something stationary in the game. So in like the spaceship, they have like pumpkins, they have grime, they have that.
Yeah.
I don't understand why in Pokemon they just don't have change the terrain to like instead of it being green, be purple right now. Have it match the holiday season. Have there be little pumpkins by a Pokemon stop.
Yeah.
Something really basic that I don't think would be too complex. And we saw anyone who did that Pikachu Ash Hat event saw the mad glitch of like its ears were just mad all over the place.
Yeah.
And I was dying. Like I was taking screenshots of it because like Pikachu's ears were in its head, off to the side, flat, rectangular. Like they were everywhere. It shows that Niantic still has little areas that they can improve on, but that's a given. I don't expect Niantic to just be like this all-knowing entity.
Right.
When it comes to some things, there's going to be glitches.
Right.
But it shows that there's also other areas to build on.
Yeah, and make sure you listen to your community, and that includes the people that are always complaining, because sometimes their complaints are very valid.
Give a constructive criticism.
But yeah, if you're complaining, just make sure it's constructive, and if you're Niantic, just listen to everybody. There's a lot of great things in Pokemon Go. I wouldn't be playing it 4 years later if I didn't love the game. And yeah, part of that is I love Pokemon, but like the other part is I think Pokemon Go's a pretty decent game.
Yeah.
And everything, and you have a lot of these opportunities. I just want you guys to be able to do the best you can do. I want you to be the very best there ever was. Right? Mm-hmm. And Pokemon Go is a stalwart example of how this formula works with a world like Pokemon.
And the best way to catch all of us as players is to do shit that would make this game awesome.
Right on. You got anything else real quick?
No. Stay safe.
Stay safe out there, please. Please pay attention to any of your, things are changing here. They're doing...
Each state's operating differently.
Yeah, so wherever you're at, worldwide, statewide, locally, etc., pay attention to any sort of warnings, any sort of changes and rules that you have to follow. We're still in the middle of a pandemic. Please treat it as such. I know it's spooky.
If you're in another country... Be mindful. There's spikes in other areas.
Yeah.
You might not like wearing a mask. Understandable.
Yeah. It's not hard. Just throw it on.
I treat the mask like those precursors when you play the game. Like, hey, mind your surroundings. That's all I equate to.
Yeah, minding my surroundings.
Mask. And especially for us in Colorado because it's cold. The mask is perfect because it keeps my face warm. And so I can actually be outside longer. It's
not hard to not be a dick. So
big words.
Yeah. If you have any complaints, send them over to Jack and then I'll beat your ass. Thank you.
Oh my God.
Bye.